So, let me tell you about my life as a multicultural kid dealing with intergenerational trauma. It's like being in a blender, you know? You've got all these different flavors mixing together, but sometimes it feels more like a chaotic mess than a tasty smoothie growing up. I always felt like I was straddling two worlds, and honestly, it's been a wild ride. My parents come from different backgrounds. My mom's family is from Mexico, and my dad's is from Nigeria. Each culture is rich and vibrant, but they also come with their own sets of challenges and histories. I can't even count how many times I've heard stories about struggles and hardships from both sides. My grandma would tell me about her journey crossing the border, risking everything for a better life. And then there's my dad's side, where the tales of colonialism and resilience run deep. It's heavy stuff, and sometimes it feels like a weight I didn't even ask to carry. Growing up, I felt this pressure to honor both sides of my heritage. It's like, how do you celebrate Dia de los Muertos while also understanding the significance of a Nigerian wedding? I love the vibrant colors of both cultures, but when it comes to family gatherings, it's a whole different ball game. I'd see my family members from one side trying to connect with the others, and honestly, it was awkward. The language barrier, the food preferences, cultural references, it all felt like a puzzle that didn't quite fit together. Then there's the trauma part. I've seen how my parents' past affect their present. My mom carries the weight of her family's struggles. Sometimes she'll have these moments where she talks about her childhood, and I can see the pain in her eyes. It's like she's reliving those tough times, and I can't help but feel it too. It's hard to watch someone you love go through that, especially when you know it has tied to a history that is bigger than both of us. And then there's my dad, who grew up in a different environment. He's got his own set of experiences that shape how he sees the world. I remember one time he shared a story about his childhood in Nigeria, and it hit me hard. He talked about the loss of family members and the impact of societal expectations. I felt this deep sense of empathy for him, but at the same time, I was grappling with my own identity. How do I reconcile all of this? It is like I am constantly trying to piece together a jigsaw puzzle that doesn't have a clear picture. Being a multicultural kid means I often feel like I'm caught in the middle. I've had friends who don't understand my background, and that can be isolating. Sometimes I've even made to feel like I am not Mexican enough or Nigerian enough, which just adds to the confusion. Want to embrace both sides, but society often wants to put me in a box. It's frustrating, to say the least. In school, I remember a project where we had to present our family heritage. I was super excited to share my story, but when I got up there, I felt this wave of anxiety. I started talking about my mom's traditions, and then I switched to my dad's. Kids in my class just stared at me like I was speaking a different language. It was a moment of vulnerability, and I felt so exposed. That's when I realized that my experiences, my history, and the trauma that comes with it are not always understood or appreciated. Intergenerational trauma isn't just about the past, it seeps into the present too. I often find myself feeling anxious or overwhelmed. I can't help but wonder if it is because of the weight of my family as history. Sometimes I catch myself worrying about things that seem trivial to others, but they feel monumental to me. It's like I'm carrying the fears and worries of generations before me, and it can be exhausting. But here's the thing, I'm learning to navigate this. I've started to embrace my identity as a multicultural kid, and it's empowering. I've found strength in my differences and the unique perspectives I bring to the table. I've started talking to my parents about their experiences more openly. It's helped me understand the roots of their trauma. It's like peeling back layers of an onion, and each layer reveals something new. I've also connected with other multicultural kids who get it. We share our stories, our struggles. It feels like a breath of fresh air. It's comforting to know that I'm not alone in this journey. We laugh about the awkward moments and support each other through the tough ones. It's like we're building our own little community, one that celebrates diversity and understands the weight of our histories. At the end of the day, I'm proud of who I am. I'm a blend of cultures, stories, and experiences, and that makes me unique, sure. Intergenerational trauma is a heavy topic, but it doesn't define me. I am learning to take the lessons from my family as past and use them to shape my future. It's a process, and I'm still figuring it out. But I know that my multicultural identity is something to be celebrated, not hidden away. So, If you're out there feeling the weight of your family's history, know that you're not alone. Embrace your journey, share your story, and let's keep the conversation going. We're all in this together, navigating the complexities of our identities and the legacies we carry.